Salam keluarga Malaysia, hello and good evening. Thanks for joining us. I'm Julai and you're watching News at 10. Making the headlines today. National Month large-scale ceremony launches tomorrow after 2 years. Government to review standard chicken price. After 2 years of not being held at a large scale to curb the spread of COVID-19, the launch of 2022 National Month and the flying of Jalur Gemilang will be held tomorrow with the participation of the various strata of keluarga Malaysia. The launching ceremony with the theme Keluarga Malaysia Teguh Bersama at Dataran Putrajaya will be officiated by Prime Minister Datuk Seri Semasa. Among the attractions in conjunction with the launch is the performance of 5 traditional dances that reflect the diversity of races in this country, accompanied by the Keluarga Malaysia song. Also held in conjunction with the launch of the 2022 National Month and flying the Jalur Gemilang is the Berjalan Teguh Bersama program, which is a walking event that will be attended by the Minister of Communications and Multimedia, Tan Sri Anwar Musa.
Jadi setakat ini seramai hampir lebih kurang 15,000 akan turut serta dalam program Jalan Bersama, iaitu bermula daripada dataran Masjid Putrajaya dan berakhir di dataran berhadapan dengan Istana Kehakiman Negara yang mana jaraknya lebih kurang dalam 2.7 km lah. Jadi setakat ini saya telah pun meninjau persiapan seawal pagi tadi dan sekarang ni persiapan sedang giat dilaksanakan khususnya oleh Jabatan Penerangan Malaysia sendiri sebagai urusia untuk program ini, dan setakat ini saya berpuas hatilah.
To kindle the spirit of patriotism, the Prime Minister will also flag off the 2022 Keluarga Malaysia Merdeka Day convoy. Meanwhile, Datuk Seri Mohamad hoped that owners of premises and buildings in Putrajaya, especially government buildings, will put up the Jalur Gemilang to celebrate the National Month this year. The government will be reviewing the standard chicken retail ceiling price, as well as the approval to export chicken after the implementation of current ceiling price in Peninsular Malaysia ends on 31st August. Agriculture and Food Industry Minister Datuk Seri Ronald Kiandi said the government will study whether to maintain the subsidy or to float the price or to reopen the export of the chicken abroad.
Itu akan kita pertimbangkan. Jadi kita ada sebulan lagi untuk melihat perkembangan yang akan berlaku dalam industri ternakan dan juga pemasaran ayam negara kita. Harga siling digazet melalui gazet yang dibuat oleh KPDN HCP, dan gazet itu akan berakhir pada 31 hari bulan Ogos.
Segalanya ekspor dan harga ayam akan dibincangkan selepas 31 Ogos.
Ya.
The government imposed a ceiling price at RM9.40 per kilogram of chicken, which was enforced from 1st July to 31st August. He said the government is also aware that there are some who are selling standard chicken lower than the set ceiling price. Malaysia Airports Holding Berhad MAHB will be implementing the Airport Collaborative Decision Making ACDM integrated system to increase operational efficiency at the Kuala Lumpur International Airport. MAHB Managing Director Datuk Iskandar Mizal Mahmud said the ACDM system aims to improve service standards with the collaboration of 7 airport stakeholders, allowing decisions to be made based on more accurate and higher quality information. The 7 stakeholders are the Civil Authority of Malaysia, Malaysia Airlines, AirAsia, Batik Air, Aerodarat, Post Aviation and Ground Team Red.
We need to actually scale it up in terms of getting it to be systemized in such a way that it makes it really, really easy for everyone to be able to be on the same page at any given point of time. So with that in mind, we had invested about 40 million to get a system so that everybody will be able to plug into it.
He was met after signing the Memorandum of Understanding MOU with the stakeholders. ACDM integrates the operation of the airport, air traffic control, airlines and ground handlers via a unified platform, enabling collaborative decision-making and common situational awareness, as well as maximizing the exchange of information. According to the International Civil Aviation Organization, 18 airports in the Asia-Pacific have already implemented ACDM, while 23 others are in the midst of implementing the system. The banking system continues to maintain healthy liquidity and funding positions, recording an aggregate liquidity coverage ratio of 148.4%, a position which remains supportive of intermediation activities. In a monthly highlights June 2022 report released today, Bank Negara Malaysia BNM said loan-to-fund ratio remained stable at 81.8% in June. The report also noted that net financing grew by 5% in June compared to 4.5% in May. This was driven by a 5.6% growth in outstanding loans versus May 5.0%, while outstanding corporate bond growth remained unchanged at 3.4%. By sector, the central bank said the high outstanding loan growth reflected stronger growth in wholesale and retail trade and transport, storage and communication. On the financial market, BNM said domestic financial markets condition tightened following the sharp rise in United States interest rates. BNM said adjustments in the domestic financial markets remain orderly amid positive economic recovery prospects. The Social Security Organisation, or SOCSO, remains committed to provide 55,000 job opportunities throughout the 6 months of Jamin Kerja Wage Incentive JKIP program implementation. SOCSO Chief Executive Officer Datuk Seri Dr. Muhammad Azman Aziz Muhammad said this is in line with JKIP's main target of creating 300,000 job opportunities this year.
Lanjutan program ini memberikan tumpuan kepada usaha pengambilan pekerja daripada sektor pelancongan, pekerja yang mengganti pekerja asing, program Malaysianization, orang korang upaya OKU, wanita dan pekerja yang kehilangan pekerjaan. So dengan peruntukan sedia ada di bawah program JKIP ini sebanyak 2 bilion, di bawah bajet 2022 sebanyak 475 juta akan disalurkan oleh Perkesu sebagai insentif kepada para majikan.
The JKIP program, which was extended until 31st December with the same application conditions and incentive rates for employers, as well as mobility assistance for hired workers as before. Meanwhile, the Jamin Kerja Keluarga Malaysia Career Expo managed to help 1,712 individuals to secure job placement, while 10,698 managed to reach the second stage of job interviews. Coming up next, local man arrested for smuggling subsidized diesel. The Domestic Trade and Consumer Affairs Ministry, KPDNHEB, arrested a local man for modifying a four-wheel drive vehicle to smuggle subsidized diesel. Perlis KPDNHEB Enforcement Officer Muhammad Amir Abdullah said inspections revealed that the man, 36, had added 2 tanks in the back seat to store diesel that was brought around the Kangar. Muhammad Amir said the man had just finished filling up at a petrol station in Kanga when he was arrested around 12:30 p.m. yesterday. He said the police KPDNHEB had confiscated around 500 litres of subsidized diesel worth RM1,075, 6 jerry cans, diesel purchase receipts and a Mitsubishi Pajero with a total value of RM22,135 for further investigation.
Untuk siasatan awal kita, dia tak ada kaitan dengan yang sedikit sebelum ini. Sebab saya difahamkan maklumat yang kita dapat, sedikit ni ada yang berbeza-beza. Okey, dia punya ni ada yang bergerak secara solo, ada yang secara berkumpulan. Jadi ini kita maklumat awal kita memang dia bergerak secara solo lah. Ada yang bergerak secara berkumpulan menggunakan 3 buah kenderaan Maksudnya pergerakan masuk ke stesen itu secara bukan secara serentak tapi secara satu.
He said the man was buying diesel at several petrol stations and then reselling it to buyers, mostly who were foreigners. Muhammad Amir said they had opened an investigation paper under the Control of Supplies Act 1961 and that they were still trying to find the location of the diesel storage area along with the mastermind. Datuk Seri Najib Razak's final bid to set aside his conviction and sentence in the 42 million ringgit SRC international corruption case will proceed next month at the Federal Court as fixed earlier. The matter was confirmed by Deputy Public Prosecutor Muhammad Ashraf Adrin Kamarul after an online case management before Federal Court Deputy Registrar Wan Fatimah Zahara Wan Yusof and Deputy Registrar Siti Haja Mustafa. Last Tuesday, it was reported that Datuk Seri Najib had discharged with immediate effect Messrs. Shafi and Co. from representing him in his SRC appeal. The former Prime Minister's then appointed lawyer Hisham Tepotek from Messrs. Hisham as his lead counsel and Messrs. Zaid Ibrahim Suflantish Liu and partners, Liu Tekwat and Ruben Mathiavaranam as his new solicitors. On 8 December 2021, a three-man Court of Appeal bench upheld Datuk Seri Najib's conviction and 12-year jail sentence as well as the 210 million ringgit fine imposed on him. Judge Datuk Abdul Karim Abdul Jalil, who presided with Datuk Haszana Mahat and Datuk Wazir Alam Maidin Mira, also dismissed Datuk Seri Najib's appeal against the decision made by the High Court on 28 July 2020. The Federal Court is Datuk Seri Najib's final avenue to appeal against his conviction and jail sentence in the SRC case. A former director of the Malaysian Intellect Development Foundation, Midf, was fined 85,000 ringgit in default 6 months jail by the Kuala Lumpur Sessions Court today. He was convicted for falsifying payment vouchers on expenditure by the Indian Community Transformation Unit Mitra funds for Tamil schools post-COVID-19 assistance program. Judge Susanna Hussain meted out the fine on SS Vijaya Kumar, 47, after he pleaded guilty to an alternative charge with using as genuine a forged document. According to the charge, Vijaya Kumar, who now works as an independent consultant, was accused of using a forged document, which is a MIDF payment voucher dated 24th November 2020, amounting to 75,000 ringgit for supply of hand sanitizer, which he had reason to believe the document was false as genuine. The offence was committed at Mitra, Ministry of National Unity, Lebuh Perdana Timur A, Federal Government Administrative Centre, Putrajaya on 2nd July 2021. He was charged under Section 471 of the Penal Code, which carries an imprisonment of up to 2 years or a fine or both upon conviction. Over in Perak, 4 men were charged by Ipoh Sessions Court today for raping an underage girl 2 weeks ago. The accused are Afiq Yan Muhammad Farid Yan, Muhammad Azim Abdul Rahman, Muhammad Arif Haikal Arapin, as well as a teenager, pleaded not guilty when the charges were read before Judge Ainul Shahrin Muhammad. According to the charge sheet, Afiq Yan was accused of raping the 15-year-old victim in an unnumbered house at Jalan Feldalasah, Kampung Pulau Mentimun, between 1 to 2 a.m. on 17 July. He was charged under Section 376 of the Penal Code. Meanwhile, the other 3 accused were charged under Section 375B of the Penal Code for raping the same victim at an unnumbered house at Taman Davonby, Sungai Siput Utara between 1 to 2 a.m. on 14 July. The court then allowed bail for each of the accused and set 2nd September for case mention. Over in Negeri Sembilan, the Seremban Sessions Court charged an assistant education officer for accepting bribe of 2,000 ringgit 5 years ago. The accused, Muhammad Fauzi Abdul, pleaded not guilty when the charge was read before Judge Rushan Lufi Muhammad. The charge was framed under Section 17A as well as 24 subsection 1 of the MACC Act 2009. The court set 30th August for case mention. we tell you stories,
Relevant,
new,
efficient,
accurate.
reliable. We bring you extraordinary stories from around the world, from politicians, bankers, and even your favorite celebrities. This and many more on RTM's English News.
The Malaysian contingent mission for 6 gold medals at the 2022 Commonwealth Games in Birmingham begins as the world's second biggest sporting event kicked off at the Stadium Alexander this morning. The opening ceremony in all its glory was witnessed by some 30,000 spectators and officiated by Prince Charles. Featuring the city's rich and diverse history, the vibrant show was divided into a few scenes along with an impressive light show and spectacular firework, all crammed into 2.5 hours of a colourful evening. The organisers also paid a fitting tribute to Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II, who celebrated the Platinum Jubilee marking the 70th anniversary of her reign. The athletes and officials then marched into the stadium to thunderous applause, with Australia the first to enter the stadium and Malaysia the 42nd team to do so. The Malaysian contingent with women's squash player Aifa Azman and powerlifting ace Boni Buni Augustin as flag bearers led the way as 38 other athletes and officials, including Chief de Mission Datuk Syahrul Zaman Yahya and his deputy Gerard Montero, following suit. The Malaysian men and women looked dashing in their white 5-button baju Melayu and short modern kebaya that featured the national flower hibiscus. England's top male diver Tom Daley was among the athletes given the honour of carrying the Queen's baton before it was finally passed to homegrown former heptathlete Dennis Lewis. Lewis then handed the baton, containing a message from the Queen, to Prince of Wales Prince Charles, who read out the message before declaring the 22nd edition of the Games open. The Games will run until 8 August. Ahead of the ASEAN Football Federation AFF U16 Youth Championship in Yogyakarta, the national under-16 team is determined to follow their elder brothers, the under-19 squad, who emerged the champion of the age group championship recently. The under-16 team manager Osmera Omaro was confident that they can achieve their goal. Osmera, who will be relying on a majority of players in the team from Academy Mokhtar Dahari, believes that his boys are in good momentum as they finish with positive results against Selangor in the first quarter-finals of the Youth Cup.
Saya rasa daripada skuad senior layak ke Sukan Asia, kemudian follow up dengan kejayaan U19 di AFF. Sekarang ni ada satu feeling yang good things about this team. So of course sekarang semua ni memberi inspirasi pada team ni, pada saya, saya rasa pada semua peminat bola sepak that kita boleh achieve something.
He said this at the Kuala Lumpur International Airport just before the departure of the under-16 squad to Indonesia. In the campaign, Malaysia was drawn into Group C along with Cambodia, Myanmar and Laos. In the 2019 edition, the national squad successfully conquered the championship after beating Thailand 2-1 in the final. The Malaysian Football League MFL has approved the application by Kelantan FC to postpone the kick-off time for their Premier League match against Kuching FC this Sunday. The matter was announced by MFL Chief Executive Officer Stuart Ramalingam. Stuart explained that the match at Stadium Sultan Muhammad IV will begin at 5 p.m. instead of the original time at 4:45 p.m.
Saya pun telah berhubung dengan Encik Zam sendiri dan kita dua setuju dengan keputusan kick-off pukul 5 di Kelantan untuk perlawanan seterusnya. Kita mengambil pendekatan untuk mendengar keperluan pasukan Kelantan untuk mengubah kick-off time ini.
Kelantan FC manager Norizam Tukiman through social media previously informed that they are appealing for a kick-off time postponement in their match against Kuching City. The request was made after taking into account scorching weather as well as the requirement for Muslim prayers and fans to do their Asar prayers at that time. That concludes today's edition of News at 10. In our top story, National Month large-scale ceremony launches tomorrow after 2 years. Don't forget to tune in to Updates at Noon tomorrow at 12:30 p.m. on TV2. Till then, I'm Shuhaida Arifin. Thank you for watching.